Okay. Oh, wait. Crap. I didn't. I totally didn't. Okay. Now, we should be peaches and gravy. I think. Hopefully. And... I believe we are. Anyway. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the weekly reaction to Unordinary. So, last week, what is up, Felipe? Welcome back. Last week was crazy, man. Last week was really crazy. So, basically, last week, we did not get confirmation on whether or not Jackson is dead, but Serafina kind of yelled at Arlo a lot, and Arlo was kind of like, hey, like, you can break out if you want, but, like, you're not gonna have the strength to carry John and Orin out of here, so just make this easier for everyone. Arlo played the snake move, and that's when Big Unc Cam showed up and completely obliterated Arlo's barrier, completely obliterated it. And yeah, and basically just kind of grabbed John, put him on his shoulder, electrocuted him, so he just went unconscious. And even Serafino was like, Mr. Cameron, like, oh my god, like, what are you doing here? Oh crap. And Cassandra, no idea who he was just like, whoever this Mr. Cameron is, like, he's on a different level. If he chooses to fight us, we're screwed, basically. And so yeah. And so he also, Serafina also told him, like, hey, like, we're here to capture that guy. He's here to, like, talk about, like, he's got info on Jane. And Cass heard that and was also like, oh, like, him and John must be connected if they're looking for Jane because she's the source of everything. Nice. Congrats, Solo. Congrats, man. So Orin was basically like, bro, I don't care about no mother effing ifs. Like, I don't care about no mother effing ifs. So, listen, I'm tired of you, Serafina, so if you ever come to my property again, like, it's on site, girl. It's on site. Basically told Cassandra that she never saw him, like, he was never there. And Marcus showed up, and he was basically like, you're not in the position to make that demand. And Cass was like, no, shut up. Shut your mouth, Marcus. I was basically like, okay, like, that's totally fine. So he basically ditched Serafina, and she was like, are you kidding me? Like, you coward. Like, what's your problem? What's up, Keyshawn? What's up? From there, Cassandra basically, like, told Serafina, like, I don't want to fight you, but, like, if you try and take Orin, we do have to act. Like, please just leave. Like, just leave. And Sarah yelled, and Sarah ran off. And that's where we left off. That's where 393 left off. So, like I said, I think the next few chapters up to episode 400. What is it? Oh, Ray, what's up, man? It's been a while. Pablo, welcome. Pablo, it's literally in the username, Pablo. It's literally in the username. I'm sorry. It's just I do actually get triggered when people misspell my nickname. Anyway, Ray, it's good to see you again, buddy. Hope you've been doing well. Yeah, no, like, that's definitely, I think you were here when we were talking about that, Solo. That's definitely a theory of mine that Ember is going to now have access to both the Disabler as well as the Dampener. But we're just going to have to wait and see. Anyway, we should be good now. We should be good now. Yeah, we're good, buddy. We're good. Like we've just been reading, like as you might suspect. And we just been talking about it. Welcome fashionably. Fashionably, no jungle juice today. No jungle juice today, fashionably, so you are right on time. You're not fashionably late today, my guy. It's okay, Apollo. It's okay. So yeah, so I think I got the episode unlocked, so I haven't seen anything yet. But I think it's pretty obvious. The next few episodes, we're going to get a lot of different perspectives. We're going to get John and Cameron, Serafina, Arlo and Cass, probably just Cass herself, Oren with the Bureau in their custody. We actually, unless this episode focuses on John or Serafina, this episode might actually like be like a bit of a time skip to focus on Cass and Oren talking. Obviously, we'll check back in with the trio. We'll probably check back in at Wellston with Cecile or Elaine or Zeke. And we'll probably check back in with the routing group. And then maybe we'll also see Valerian again. And then episode 400 is where we'll see Jane again. That's my prediction. So, let's go ahead and get this underway. So, guys, is the audio good? Like you guys can hear me, right? Like it's not desynced and the audio is like sounds fine. I just want to double check. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump right into this. So, we are back at Wellston. Oh no. Oh wait. Oh god. Jackson, come on, big dog. Come on. 2-3-1. Am I tripping, or isn't that like a... Am I tripping, or wasn't that also close to a room that at Wellston, like for Safe House? 2-3-1. Oh my god, he's alive. He's literally... Guys, he is literally... Oh, wait. Oh, he might not be able to talk, actually. Oh no. Depending on how bad like the cut is, like he could have like really hurt his vocal cords. But guys, our GOAT, the one true king of Unordinary is alive. He's fine. Jackson is literally just in his hospital, but literally just on his phone. Just like, Spectre leader captured by Bureau's brightest. Last evening. Oh god, they like went back in a hurry. Oh my god. By Bureau's brightest. Last night in the hills of Bluemont, the Bureau's dedicated Spectre team led by Agent Cassandra successfully subdued the high-ranking Spectre leader. And then Cassandra, Jackson, Amelia, Arlo. The operation was carried out with the assistance of local law enforcement and Chief Marcus, whose support provided instrumental in bringing the situation under control. However, the incident resulted in multiple casualties, further highlighting the threats posed by the Spectre terrorist organization. Authorities continue to assess the aftermath of the operation while reaffirming their commitment to protecting the public and preventing future attacks. Oh no. Jackson feels like a failure, I think. So he just they really didn't waste any time putting this out, huh? Skepticism. Come on, Jackson, be one of the GOAT. Unordinary, episode 394. So, and someone's here to visit. Who is it? It's his friends. It's his coworker. Well, okay, it's his coworkers. Jax, you're awake. And Cass brought him some flowers. You really gave us a scare. And Amelia's here too. Okay, and he can talk. Didn't expect Oren to nick me last second. Thanks for saving me, Amelia. I'm used to it. Here, we brought you some snacks. Is Arlo okay? I heard he got hit pretty bad. He was discharged this morning and rushed straight to work. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if he was still there now. And all the people at the office are like, whisper, 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 whisper. Sheesh, that boy needs to take it easy. And Cass, she knows, hasn't even graduated and already a workaholic. And he notices Cass, like, Cass, do you know what's going on with him? You didn't seem very surprised with how things played out on that hill. You even knew how to talk to those two Spectre kids. It's like you're familiar with them. What are you keeping from us, Cass? On the one hand, I trust Jackson and Amelia so much. Like, I trust these two so much. But on the other hand, Cass cannot. Welcome, Lego, welcome. On the other hand, Cass cannot afford to make even a single misstep with this. Like, if she tells them, that's a bigger risk of people who know the truth about the Bureau and Ember. And, again, the Bureau knows, they know that Cass knows. They know that Cass knows. Farah wiped that from Arlo's memory, too. They have to know. And so, if they know that it starts spreading and people start getting skeptical and, they start figuring out that people know, they're gonna know who told them, because there's only one other person that could have. Exactly, Pablo, exactly. So, I want Cass to tell them. She really shouldn't, though. She really should not. So, it's true. I have been withholding information. That's because I didn't know who I could rely on at the time. But that changed after Orin. Now I trust both of you with my life. Listen closely and don't... Okay, but hold up. She's doing this. She's doing this in a hospital. A hospital that is probably ran by the Bureau. A hospital that is probably being monitored by the Bureau. Cass, baby girl, you can't be doing stuff like this, Cass. Don't do it, bro. And don't freak out. They were okay. Yes, that's what I was gonna say too, Solo. They're the Bureau trio. They're the Bureau trio. So, okay, so they were all literally standing right next to each other on Jackson's bed. She says, and she tells them, don't freak out. And, literally, next panel is literally just, Jackson in his bed, Amelia, a little bit to the side at the edge of the bed. And she's just and literally, Cass is she stood a little away from the bed too, just there's literally space between them now, but they're still close together, and just gloom. The Bureau created Ember, huh? In hindsight, I should have seen this coming. Do you know who's involved? So far, Val, Byron, and Farah. Damn, they're all pretty up there. Arlo said his vigilante friends were the ones who figured it out, but after the Wellston raid, his memory was completely wiped. Cass is sitting away from them in a chair. Wiped? How come? Welcome, Panzer, welcome. I appreciate it, so how come? It was either that or incarceration. He took his friend's side and went against the Bureau. Val probably pulled some strings in order to save him. No wonder he's been acting weird lately. Poor kid. Can't help but feel sorry for him. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out what he can and can't remember. One thing's for sure, we can't trust him, and there's a high chance Ember's trying to recruit him. So many officers were sent to Wellston that day, and not a single one reported on what really happened. That's odd, isn't it? Maybe they were wiped too? All those memories erased just for Arlo? That's extreme. Even it's to preserve a talent like him. Or they're hiding something else. Those Wellston students aren't easy to deal with, especially with Arlo joining them. If Farah was present, do you think she may have used her Ember abilities in front of our officers? Maybe that's what they're concealing? Ah! Look at Amelia. Smart. Big-brained. Because that's exactly what happened to Amelia. If we ask around discreetly, we might be able to find someone who remembers what really happened and start building a case. I want to tell you guys a little bit about storytelling, and specifically why you tell, like, things you do intentionally for the purposes of storytelling. Because even though I want this to be real, even though I do want this to be real, there's a gap. There's a gap between Cass, Amelia, and Jackson. Jackson and Amelia are still next to each other. Amelia is still somewhat near Jax's bed. She's still close to Jax's bed. However, Jackson is the farthest away from Cassandra right now. Jackson's the farthest away from Cassandra. So, let's pop this up. You guys like our little doodles? You guys like our little doodles? So, Jackson is the farthest away from Cass right now. Amelia is the middle point between the two of them, but it looks like wait, I'm still up here. Oh my god, I never fixed that from last week. Was I here last week? Guys, do I go here or here? Where do I usually go for this screen? I don't know, whatever. Up here's fine, I guess. Anyway. So, Jackson is on his bed. Right here. We'll get some hair on him too. So Jackson's right here. Amelia is right here. She's closest to Jackson. She's closest to Jackson. She's closest to Jackson. Welcome, Electro. I'm still reading through. Right now. But we're talking about something. We're talking about something right now. And then Cass is in the corner of the room. And you know what? We're gonna say corner of the room. Oh wait, whoops. Corner of the room is like right here. And Cass is right here on a chair. So, there's space. There's distance between them. And I know we were just talking about how, like, I love Jackson and Amelia. But what the paneling tells me right now, what the framing that Uru is doing, and again, I just saw something like this recently. This might be a stretch on my part. But also, right now, on the wall right next to Cassandra is a curtain from the window. However, the way it's framed, it is directly separating Cass from Amelia, and from Amelia specifically, and Jackson. So, what this tells me, Jackson may not be loyal. Jackson may be siding with the Bureau. Amelia is closer to Cass, so she might be on the fence about helping her and building the case. But she is closer to Jackson still, so she might side with him, but it's possible that she could side with Cass. And Cass, again, is by herself in the corner against the, literally against a wall. Just a little bit of storytelling details for y'all. So, Jackson says that, and Cass, one more thing. It looks like they both nod, but the onomatopoeia for it is only on Cass. So that's interesting. So the drawing was like, so we're now at the Bureau of Authority. And here's Cass. Oh, so it's Cass, not Arlo. Good afternoon, sir. Cassandra. Good to see you, Cassandra. You as well. After months of strategic discussions and negotiations, the acquisition of BioNova has been officially approved. So, Keyshawn, we'll talk about it. But like, there are scenes like that. In a scene where everyone is like, and that's a thing. That is a thing, Keyshawn. In a scene where people are at a bar drinking together and only one person is drinking, sometimes it's very apparent. Like, especially for scenes of betrayal. Like, if one person is drinking but no one else is, like, that is a thing. Like, that is a storytelling tool. But yeah, so the acquisition of BioNova has officially been approved. There's no way. There's no way. No fucking way. Next Gen and BioNova have built a strong relationship spanning decades. There's a man with a haircut similar to Jackson and a similar hair color shaking hands with a man with light pinkish purple hair. There's no way. And this milestone marks the formalization of their long-standing partnership. Through this agreement, Next Gen and CEO Julian have successfully finalized this transaction. There's no way. We welcome BioNova into the next family and look forward to establishing a new chapter of collaboration, innovation, and shared success. You have reports for me. There's no way. Guys, did we just meet Sarah and Layla's dad? Solo, I think Solo, I think Julian is. I could be mistaken, but I think Julian is the name of the next gen. Well, no, because it is focused on him. It is focused on him. So okay. Okay. So yeah, the way the sentence works, Lego, makes it seem like Julian. Wait, wait. This is the first repeated name. This is the first repeated name. Where is he? Where is that smug motherfucker? This is the first repeated name, guys. And no, Uru, this counts. I'm counting this, Uru. I'm counting this. I need to move my water. I didn't think it would be in the way. It's very much in the way. This is the first name that's been repeated. There absolutely was. There absolutely was. And you know what? He also had a pinkish hair color. Unordinary has reached the point where we have repeated names, guys. Big damn. No, it's fine here. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. But yeah. That's funny. That's funny. I just realized that. Anyway, so Lego. So Lego. The way the sentence is written, it does make it seem like Julian is the CEO of Next Gen. But the paneling and the specific name drop to focus on who we're all assuming is Sarah's dad. The way the paneling works implies that this is Julian. So I don't know. It's interesting. It's interesting. Anyway, yeah. Bio Nova. So anyway, continuing on. You have your report for me, Miss Cassandra. Oh, yes. Here are the final write-ups from the team. Amelia, Jackson, Arlo, myself, as well as Chief Marcus of Bluemont. If a single person left out that detail, or left in the detail about Cameron, they're screwed. You've done exceptional work, Cassandra. The Bureau thanks you for your service. I only wish we could weed out the rest of Spectre sooner. It won't be long. I've assigned Instructor Keon to Orin for questioning. He'll be able to extract the necessary information. Have you gotten in touch with Keon? He knows. He knows. Yes, sir. We've spoken. Excellent. Expect to be working with him more often from here on out. Oh? Can't wait. Oh, no. Cameron's house. And John is in bed, still a little bruised up, but he's... And Cameron is right beside him. Cameron is right beside him. Yep. who finally decided to Dex Cameron right in the... Take me back, asshole! Ugh. What are you, an animal? What's... Marisol! Get him off of me! John, please calm down. Couldn't you fucking tell I was in the middle of something? Ugh. You brat. If I hadn't shown up when I did, you'd be locked up. Where's Sarah? So damn loud. You better not have just left her there. She can take care of herself. She's plenty capable. Unlike you. That doesn't mean you leave her! You shitty old man! John, and Marisol steps in. John, please. Marisol, move! I'm gonna knock this fucker's teeth in. Let's see you try. Sir, you're not helping. Listen, he'll never admit it, but your uncle was worried sick for you. No, I wasn't. He spent the last week traveling everywhere to find you. So for his sake, just try to get along. I don't need a fucking stranger looking out for me. Cocky brat. Haven't you realized you're too damn weak to survive on your own? Get out. With your mediocre technique, you could never. Mister, please stop talking. I said get out! John's mad because he knows that Cameron's right. Because even Sarah told him, you need to ask your uncle for help. So John's shaking, sits down. The last thing I did was offer her up to Warren so we'd have a chance at defeating him. Because I wasn't capable enough to do it myself. Sarah, I'm sorry. Unordinary episode 394. Like I said, John knows. Exactly, Electro. I don't know if that qualifies as a fight, Pablo. Throwing a punch does not equate a fight. But, you know, we did see it coming. Panzer. Freaky French ass. But yeah, once again, Uru is teasing the training arc, which, you know, I'm all for. I'm all for. So Solo, I don't disagree. I don't disagree, Solo. Like, I could see that happening. But like, I'm trying to think, what information could Oren possibly give Keon to actually make Keon turn? Because he already knows about Ember. He knows that the Bureau is making drugs to spread to low tier towns for the purpose of killing vigilantes. So like, you know, Oren made it, and like, Keon is a child abuser, so I'm hard pressed to think like him going through everything, like him going through Oren's memories of like recruiting abandoned children. I feel like that's not enough. It's not impossible. It's not impossible, but I do. Yeah. So, what level is Cameron? Or most likely seen Jane herself. Okay. Maybe. Yeah, that's not impossible, Solo. It's not impossible. Okay. Yeah, no. That's a good theory. That's a good theory, actually. Okay. Yeah, it's not impossible. It's not impossible. But I do want to say again, framing, the way you lay out your panel layout for stories is always important. Yeah, so I think welcome John. I don't know if I've said hi to you yet, but welcome. Um the way what was I talking about? Fuck. Oh, I definitely think that Cameron is stronger than Oren. However, it's been established that Jane is the absolute strongest. So I do feel like because she's been in captivity, maybe she hasn't leveled up as much. She hasn't reached her full peak, quote unquote. So I did say last week, I do feel like it's possible that Cameron could be stronger than Jane. So let's see. True. Yeah, that's true. He should be able to. I always stand by that the aura master ability users should be able to copy time manipulation, even John. Fashionably. You're actually cooking fashionably. But yeah, so wait. Yeah, exactly. So Solo. So about Oren wanting to go against the Bureau. Once again, we talked about this a few weeks back. I think it just has to. I don't buy for a minute that Oren was on board with Spectre's goal. I don't buy for a minute that Oren wanted a better and more just society. Like, this man was recruiting and kidnapping children. Like, he was recruiting and grooming kids to like be loyal to him, be faithful to him, to like sacrifice themselves for him. He kidnaps people, like adults, young adults and teenagers, and backs and blackmails them to work for him. And so I think Oren went against the Bureau because he got way too big for his bridges and thought he was hot shit, and like basically tried to like, he thought he should take over. Like, I don't think like I don't I again, I could absolutely be wrong. But everything about Oren just screams greed. Everything about Oren is literally about controlling everything. So I don't think Oren has like a legitimately good reason for wanting to for going against the Bureau. I think it's purely from a selfish, vindictive standpoint. Now, granted, could that point be like, could that point be like, oh, they took my research and didn't credit for me? Yeah, that sucks. That is like, that does suck. That does suck. Like, taking your research, not crediting for you, but still expecting you to do it. That sucks. But like, that's not a reason to go wild like he does. And again, like, I'm pretty sure Oren knew exactly what he was creating, what his experiments were being used for. I could be wrong, but it's just like, everything about Oren just screams that he wanted more. He wanted to be the one in control, and he wasn't. So yeah. Strongest confirmed number. Yeah, yeah. Exactly, Lego. Exactly. But yeah, so that's the thing. That's the thing about Oren. What else were we talking about? Level wise, fashionably. Okay, but okay, we're going back to what fashionably said. Let's go back to Claire's vision when John went back to his hometown again. Do you think the training arc was part of that, since Clark said she won't tell him anymore? No, because it seems like once she does get a vision, Claire can turn it off. And the only thing that we saw, that she saw, was John meeting Cameron. Actually, yeah, we can try and go. We can try and find the episode real quick. Boom, got it right here. So, in this scenario, literally all we see Claire do is see John meeting Cameron, and she immediately shuts it off. So I don't think she had a vision of John becoming stronger here. Yeah. And again, okay. So there's a villain in the MCU. There's a villain in the MCU that's from a really bad movie. And, well, I think it's a bad movie. And that's kind of how I feel like Uru might go with Oren. Again, I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But everything about Oren just kind of screams Quentin Beck from Spider-Man Far From Home. Now, what is Quentin Beck's, what is his whole main motivation for why he decides, hey, yeah, I'm gonna kill. Welcome, Avril. Welcome. What's Quentin Beck's motivation for, hey, I'm gonna put all these high school students 6 feet underground. I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna blame Peter Parker for everything. I'm gonna blame Spider-Man for it. What's his motivation for that? Why did he decide that this was the course that his life needed to go? Because Tony Stark took his technology and like gave it a stupid name. Again, that sucks. I'm sorry that happened. You decided to hurt children, so you don't have my sympathy. So like, that's how Oren feels. Like, even if the Bureau betrayed him into, like, okay, you guys, I want you guys to remember. I want you guys to remember. I am also a believer in the theory that Oren was Terrence's actual father. And we know how Terrence was conceived. So again, the Bureau has to have done something diabolical, absolutely repulsive, in order for like Oren to have like any sympathy, in order to give Keon any reason to ever be like, maybe we are the bad guys. Like, the Bureau has to have done something absolutely awful to Oren to justify his actions. And again, I don't think there's any way you could justify his actions. You don't need to watch it. It's an awful movie, Lego. Anyway, is that everything we were going to talk about? I think that's everything. So yeah, now I want to talk about this framework again. Like this, the framing for panels like this, for storylines like this. Once again, Jackson was the farthest from Cass. Amelia was closer to Jackson, but she was the halfway point between him and Cass. But also, there was something in the paneling dividing Cass from Amelia. Talking about framing like this. And we're talking about framing like this because was it you? I don't think it was Solo. I want to say it was... Keyshawn. So Keyshawn, pull back up, Keyshawn. I know you're still here, Keyshawn. Because we're going to talk about this. So, you said, Keyshawn. Next thing you're going to do is say someone, like, there's a panel where they were drinking, but someone didn't drink. So, yes, that's exactly the case. Where's the... right here. Here we go. Where is it? Damn it. Right here. These episodes right here, where we focus on Keon. I talked about this when we were going over these episodes, when we were reading these episodes. I talked about this. Everything Keon does in these episodes in these 2 episodes is because of a result of him doing things he doesn't like, things that stress him out. So he has obviously, this character looks like someone, and I'm just now realizing that. No, I'm not going to tell you guys who it is. He absolutely traumatizes this girl, and he leaves. The first time we see Keon have genuine humanity in the series. But what is the first thing after we see him do after this? Back in his apartment, smoking. People smoke for a lot of different reasons, but there's a reason why Uru is showing us all of this with Keon. So, we're in his room. His apartment is kind of a mess. Is that just a fucking burger bun on the floor? Keon, clean up your shit, bro. Or no, that might be a piece of fruit, actually. Anyway, what do we see in Keon's apartment? We see that it's a mess. He literally has pillows like all over the place. He has trash on the floor, magazine on the floor, like it's deorganized. But also, we see cigarettes. We see a pack of cigarettes. We see coffee. We see what is most likely beer bottles. Like, we see alcohol. And of course, obviously, we see him watching the news. These are all things that people do in order to take stress away, to deal with stress. It relaxes them. It takes off the edge. Smoking. People smoke in order to, calm down because they need a fix. Coffee, again, caffeine helps them. Like, coffee helps. Alcohol literally makes you numb and stop thinking about things. So, what does he do? What does he do because he sees Cassandra? And again, he knows about that Cassandra knows. He knows Cassandra knows. Exhales his smoke. He sees something about... His room is nowhere near as bad as Asmongold, let's be real. He sees news about vigilantes, about Unordinary. He sees this. He turns it off because he doesn't want to think about it, and he just keeps smoking. Blyke, he remembers what Blyke said. He remembers the decision he has to make with Blyke. And again, this is a moment where Keon could be like, I do feel for the kid, but this could be a moment to show actual sympathy. But what does he do? He doubles down on Blyke and basically says like, hey, this is your option. And I'm going to keep gaslighting you to make you think that your parents abandoned you. And when Blyke himself doubled down, Keon did this. Keon literally gave Blyke a brain hemorrhage. And what did he do right after that? Lit up another cigarette. Now, that brings us to the next episode with Cassandra. So, he meets Cassandra for lunch. And yeah, everything is kosher there. Everything is fine and dandy here. So, but what do? Where are they? They're at a coffee shop. And also, keep in mind, Keon is the only one with a drink. He is the only one with coffee, just like we saw in his apartment, because coffee takes off the edge. And again, boom, right here. Right here. Cass is literally telling him that, hey, isn't this kind of what you're going to, isn't this kind of going against what your job is, like what you stand for? They're killing these people without due process. And what does Keon do? He drinks his coffee. He keeps focusing on that. He keeps saying, like, not my problem. He keeps focusing on it. Bro, whoever was in charge of Cass's panels in this episode, like, literally just popped off. Anyway, once again, I want to reiterate. I want to reiterate one more thing. In the previous episode, in episode 352, Keon knows he's fucking lying and gaslighting Blyke with this. He knows he's doing whatever it takes to just make Blyke see what he wants him to see. He's literally lying to Blyke the whole time, this whole interrogation. And what's the first thing he does as soon as he's outside? He lights up a cigarette because he just lied and he knows it. He doesn't want to deal with the stress of, like, what he just did. So, what does he do? When Cass tells him, this is my plan, since you don't care, I assume you won't be interfering with me? What does he tell her? I'm busy enough with my own work. But also, notice how we don't see his eyes when we say that. I don't have time to meddle with yours. Well, I won't keep you any longer then. Thank you for coming out soon. Perhaps we can stay. No, it's best we don't. What does he do? Right after he just fucking lied to Cassandra, he lights up a cigarette and walks away. Uru. Team, did you guys catch that? Did you guys catch that? I just caught it. Maybe I did way back when. Cass has not had a single drink this entire fucking... There's nothing there. There's nothing there. There's nothing here! Oh, it's right here. I still call shenanigans. Just like the exclamation point on Sarah's shirt. Just like the... Oh, it's right here. Wait, now it's here. What? Wait. Not here. Here. And here. Not here. Maybe it was running late or something. Okay, right here. Not here. Definitely not here. Definitely not here. Not here. Definitely not here. Right there. Right there. Anyway, my point still stands. Keon, yes. So, Keyshawn, scenes like that have happened in Unordinary in the past. And also, one more little tidbit that I just noticed. Keon left his trash. Just like he does at his house. Anyway, framing. Framing's a big thing. Framing's a big thing, Keyshawn. It's a big thing to go over. It's a big thing to go over. It's a big thing. Like, your choices are deliberate. Your choices are deliberate when you panel things out. And even Cass knows. Even Cass knows that she's probably screwed. Yeah. Me and Cassandra are together. That's my girlfriend. Panther. Oh my god, I'm so pathetic. Did I really just say that? Nah, Farah's cooler. I was okay. I saw your comment about the coffee too, Lego. I was going to bring that up because at first when I saw it here, I thought it might have been like a frappuccino or something, but no, it's just an iced coffee. Which like that could be something. That could be something too. But yeah, I'm just okay. Lego. Chat. Okay. I'm not saying so chat. I'm not saying that this is going to happen. Get me to 2,000 subs. And I'll do it. Get me to 2,000 subs and I'll do it, guys. And I'm gonna say this right now. We're only doing the adults. We're only doing the adults. I'm not ranking. I am not gonna rank and say who I would date of like any student in Unordinary. Like, we're only doing adults. So 80% of you want that. 2,000 subs and we'll do it. If you guys really want me to make that video, we'll have it be a stream segment. Maybe I'll get the jokers involved. Probably not. But if you want it, you better get me to 2,000 subs. Actually, you know what? Okay. I'll make another deal with you. 2,000 subs. 2,000 subs. Or 2,000 subs or 20 channel memberships. That's what you guys have to do. 2,000 subs or no.
Yeah, no, 20 channel memberships is fine. So yeah, yeah. If you guys want it, that's what it's gonna be. If you guys want it to happen, that's what that's what I'm gonna need. That's what I'm gonna need. If you guys want that video, oh wait, I should probably. There we go. There we go. No, Orin's the father. That's if you guys want that video. That's what you need to do. You either give me to 2,000 subs or 20 channel members. So, yep. So, yeah, no, yeah, I'm not touching that one with a 10-foot. I am not going near them with a 10-foot pole, Lego. Later, Keyshawn. Later. I hope I taught you something. Big dog. All right. So. All right. One hour in? Wow, it feels like we've been going on longer, actually. Only an hour in. Invisibility could be his mom's ability solo, because you have to remember, as far as we've seen in Unordinary, abilities tend to favor the mom. And I think Uru's actually like straight up confirmed that before too. Uru's like straight up confirmed that in the past too. Yeah, so Uru straight up confirmed once. Does gender matter when a person inherits an ability? Like, for example, mother's ability genes are more dominant than the father's ability genes, which are recessive, meaning that the mother will always pass on her ability to the child. It does favor the mother more. That's like from word of Uru. Will we see any more of the family's influence? Like, will we see more of Remy's parents or learn more of Seraphina's sister? So yeah, there you go. That's it right there, Solo. It's very possible that like that invisibility was Terrence's mom's ability. This ain't Hiroaka, bro. This ain't Hiroaka. But yeah. One more thing I want to bring up, actually. I'm pretty sure in the past, I did also call that Cameron would, like, when it came to, like, John and, like, how strong, like, even though he's so strong, Cameron would still be like, you're a half-breed. Like your father was a cripple. You're still weak, child. And I feel like today counts. I feel like today counts. Yeah, I think, like, Arlo, like, okay. Here's the thing. Uru said it favors the father more. It favors the mother more. She did not say like, it always favors the mother. So yeah, it's definitely possible that, like, Farah is Arlo's paternal aunt and he has his father's ability. I think that she's related to Arlo by his dad too, because when she called him originally, she specifically asked about his father. So yeah. So yeah. I believe Val is related to Arlo's father, so he could inherit his father's ability. Yeah, I already read that. So yeah. All right. Guys, there is a segment I want to do today. Would you guys like to do that? Or do you guys want to do the reread first? And also, another thing I want to prop out for everyone. What would you guys, since it's been brought to my attention last week, Jungle Juice has officially ended. The series finale has gone out. After yesterday, the series finale will go live in, I believe, 4 weeks. So, I already said I am going to finish Jungle Juice. Would you guys rather we do Jungle Juice? We switch to, like, how we have done sometimes in the past, where we switch to Jungle Juice first and end the stream talking about Unordinary and reacting? Or would you guys rather we go on for Unordinary and then we do Jungle Juice after Unordinary? What would you guys rather do? Because I know not a lot of you stick around for Jungle Juice, but I know some of you do. But yeah. And also, there is a segment that I want to do. But do you guys want to do that first? Or do you guys want me to do the reread first? Because, yeah. All right, so I think we can close out the poll. 82% of you said yes. Well, there's the goal, guys. You either give me the 2,000 subs first or 20 channel memberships. All right, segment first. All right. Tonight's segment is... figuring out the rest of Agwin's top 10. What's up, Water? Yeah, I'll read the side stories. I'll read the side stories just like I do for Unordinary. So guys, our segment for tonight, what I want to talk to you guys about. Figuring out the rest of Agwin's top 10. Now, why do I want to do this? Well, because Uru obviously introduced this grid for a reason. She obviously introduced this for the purpose because we are obviously going to start meeting the rest of the Agwin top 10, and the rest of the Agwin students are probably going to become more important to the story as we continue through the last season. So, I decided to take matters into my own hand and bring up and try and figure this out, because I truly think we can figure this out. I think that we can figure out the rest of Agwin's, who are the rest of these top students at Agwin High. Now, granted, I'm going to say, I'm not going to name these characters. I'm not going to name them. What I am going to do is figure out level and ability. That's what I'm interested in figuring out and talking about today. Figuring out what their level is and what their ability could be. I'll drop a name for her, and I'll probably maybe I'll give the name. I'm not concerned about getting names 100% right. I want to figure out level and ability. That's what I'm here to predict. So let's see. So let's see if we can figure this out. Now, we have a good base. So here's the Wellston top 10 right now. Right now, obviously, Cecile is the queen, 5.3. Zeke is the king at 4.2. Holden is the jack at 4.0. Ventus and Melee are ranks 4 and 5 at 3.8. Abel, Explosion Kid, is rank 6 at 3.6. Elaine, the new healer, rank 7, 8, 9, and 10. So Wellston has a bit of catching. Wellston has their work cut out for them, and so does Agwin, as obviously. Now, we can obviously infer from this Rain, the Queen of Agwin, ability Arachnid, when she has her ability active. Obviously, she doesn't have it right now, so she's kind of default. But yeah, so right here we then have Broven. Now, Broven is interesting. Broven is interesting because Go is 4.2 with super strength. He's kind of a weaker. He's kind of weaker compared to Rain and Broven, especially. Like, that gap is pretty huge. But he is close to Zeke. He's close to Zeke in level. He's the same level as Zeke. Go is obviously kind of a close quarters. He's a close quarters fighter because of his super strength. So he's obviously the power of, well, aside from Rain, obviously, but he is like the close quarters power of the group. Rain obviously she's the strongest. She's kind of no pun intended, even though she's the queen, she's kind of the jack of all trades. She's pretty good at close quarters because she's got multiple legs to be able to like block people out. We can see that they can also stretch very far and they're pretty defensive. So Rain is obviously like kind of a jack of all trades when it comes to this. Now, where does that put Broven? Now, hear me out. Broven kind of gives me the same vibe. Broven gives me the same vibe as someone else we've seen before. And Broven gives me, honestly, the same vibe as Zirian from New Boston. When I think of Broven, like just from his new hairstyle alone, I honestly don't know why, and it's probably just the name as well. He reminds me a bit of Zirian, and so I think that Broven actually has a sort of projectile ability. I think he has kind of like a projectile ability. I don't want to say like Blyke. I don't want to say he has a beam type of ability, but I do think he's got kind of something going on there with projectiles because from their roster, they already have close quarters. They have someone who's kind of like, a spearhead for them, literally, but they are missing some really major long range. So I think that Broven has some sort of projectile. Now, what does he have specifically? I don't know. So what I'm going to guess Broven's ability is projectile based, but I think what it might be specifically, arrows. I think Broven might be a conjure arrows guy. That's what I'm going to go. Energy cutter? Huh. That's you know what? Elaborate, Solo. Energy cutter. That's a good guess, actually. That's a really good guess. I like that. Oh, that's why you guys aren't appearing. Energy cutter, eh? Conjure freaking chainsaw. Okay, Lego. Okay. Okay. You said he was similar to Zirian, so I thought of something that would be related to Crescent Slash. And besides, his hair is like Kuyo, so a blade-related ability or something that slashes. Okay. I don't think they can summon. Well, okay. So Kuyo can manifest blades of aura. So, and like someone in the past also did like conjure like a rock arm. So it's not impossible. It's not impossible, but like it wouldn't straight up be like an actual chainsaw, I don't think. But yeah. So that's a good guess, Solo. That's a good guess actually. Energy cutter. That's a good guess. But I'm gonna stick with projectile based, but it's arrows specifically. Next up, the former queen subbing in for Rain when she was out of town because of Spectre bullshit. Now, rank 4. So rank 3 is Go Super Strength 4.2. 4.2. Now, rank 4, the subbed queen for Rain. Now, this girl, I know Uru's never really done stuff like this in the past. I know Uru has never really color coordinated with specific elements when it came to certain characters. However, this girl screams to me an ice user. This girl literally screams to me that she uses and manipulates ice with her ability, or frost or something. I think her ability is ice based, so I'm gonna call her Denise, specifically spelled like that. And Uru is also no stranger to pun names. Uru really loves. We all know Uru loves pun names. Y'all remember Heinz with the ability catch up? So yeah, I'm gonna go with ice. Her name is Denise. Dean Ice if you're a student of Mr. Garvey. But she's 4.4. Her name is Denise, and she has an ice ability. Four point 3.0. No, 4.0. Now, obviously, we then have the duo Jace 3.8 and Lena. We have Jason Lena, obviously. Iron Knuckle and Fleet Step. She specifically cannot control water as well. She can only summon ice. Or she can summon frost or like snow and like uses that to like basically attack people. Or maybe she has like an ice claw. So remember Howard's heat palm? Maybe she also has like an ice claw to where, or like an ice hand where like if she touches people she can freeze them. Actually, you know what? We can actually look into this a little bit. Let's actually do a little bit of investigation. So, here they are. Go's growth spurt is so wild to me. there's not really much to go on. There's not much to go on for any of them. Frostbite. There's not much to go on. Especially not with Holden. Holden better have a cool ability. That's all I'm going to say. But Solo. No. So... Holden probably... Here's what I'm going to say. Holden probably beat Denise. Lost to Go. He lost to Go. Go didn't even touch him. Or he couldn't even, like, handle Go. Zeke obviously defeated Go, but couldn't keep up with Broven. And there's nothing here to suggest anything like any projectile or even any slash from Broven. So we could be wrong. And obviously, like, Cecile, she's fine. She's just a little scuffed up. Denise is already down. Go's already down. Here's what we do know, though. Broven had to take off his jacket and he had to roll up his sleeves. That's what we do know. He actually loosened up a little bit. In order to fight. Oh, and his ability is active, actually. His ability is actually active. Because it's glowing right here. What color are your eyes, Broven? They're green. True. I'm just saying, like, how I think it went out. Lego. Wait, Lego. I figured it out. I'm making an addendum. Lego. I figured it out. Lego, you're going to love this. Lego. So, Broven, kind of a cool guy, pretty chill guy. But notice. Cecile had to root him to the ground. Cecile specifically chose to root him to the ground, and as we can see, he was clearly up here a little bit. Even if he was just standing, he was up here and got dragged to the ground. Go and Denise, like, they're fine. Like, they're unconscious. They don't need to be held down. But she specifically chose to restrain Go and tie him to the ground so he couldn't fight back. So, my official prediction. So, my addendum for Broven's ability. Broven has flight. Broven has flight. Because what they also don't have, is someone with a lot of speed. Rain is definitely their powerhouse. She's their muscle, basically. Go is they're also their muscle, but he's a bit of a tank too. He's a jack. He complements Rain because their abilities are similar. They don't have a lot of speed. They need some speed on their side. It's Broven, and Broven has got the flight. He's got the flight. Now, that also plays off of Denise because she's got the ice. She can also slow people down so that Broven can step up and get a good hit on them when he's flying. He could fly up to them, bam, knock him out. So Broven, he's got flight. Denise, she's got ice. Now, Jace, the Iron Knuckle, and why I don't think it's too big a stretch is because Jace, Iron Knuckle, he's a bit similar to Go when it comes to the strength-based ability. Lena with Fleet Step, she's the speed-based, but she's obviously a lot weaker than Broven. So 2 speed-based abilities. And also Lena's on the ground. Jace, he's in the sky, bro. He's in the sky. So boom, that's her right there. Now Grayson, 3.7. 7. Grayson. 3.7 is his ability level. Now, with Grayson is a bit tricky. Because on the one hand, I completely buy into the Kool-Aid. That Grayson is also Orin's son. But with Grayson, I would love for Grayson to be an acrobat. We have a few things that we can go off of with Grayson. First and foremost, where is it? Lego, do you have the episode? I got the episode. Great. I got the episode. Don't worry. Because I realize we have the technology. We have a few things that we can go off of when it comes to Grayson's ability. So, we have the fact that when we first saw him, he was running away. And there are a lot of action lines behind him, so his ability might also be speed-based. I need to get out of here. I'm no match for these guys. They caught up. But, okay. Okay. Okay, I will. I will. So he's seen running away, and also he's surprised that they caught up, but also it's because he doesn't realize that they're stronger than they actually appear to be, or than their documents would suggest. 334. Let's check this out. And he's also fast enough to dodge getting completely attacked by Kuyo. He was strong enough. He was fast enough to avoid a fatal injury, but not fast enough to get away. Granted, Kuyo is like twice his size. But there's one more solid piece of evidence when it comes to Grayson's ability. There is one more major piece that we absolutely have to look at. And that is this lady right here. Hey Dawson, welcome. I thought the episode was good. It was really good. And that's this right here. Now, it's obvious that she has her ability activated as well. It's obvious that she activated her ability as well. And she isn't affected by Keon. And the way she carries herself, she obviously seems like she would be a high tier. Or a higher tier at the very least. And Grayson is just an elite tier. Well, he's a lower elite tier. So, because of this, even though we've seen glimpses of like what Grayson could be capable of in the past, I've never really believed that was the end all be all of what his ability is. It's always occurred to me that Grayson could, especially because again, I do believe that his dad is Orin. I've always believed it's possible for Grayson to have a mental ability as well. And, you know, like it would round them out because they have a lot of fighters. They have a lot of fighters in their ranks. Even at Wilson, there's a lot of fighters. There's not a lot of support. So they do obviously need some support. What's actually interesting, we don't have Agwin's healer isn't on this list. So Grayson, I'm going to put I like what you said, Solo. We are going to call it blockade. I still fully believe that Grayson is a mental ability user. Because having a mental ability doesn't necessarily mean that you have no stats. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have no stats because obviously Orin had a fair bit of stats as well himself. He was a level 8.6. He had a fair bit of power, strength, speed, you know, stuff like that too. So it makes sense that he would be able, that, you know, even if your ability is not physical based, you'd get some sort of physical enhancement with it. Especially if you're an elite tier. So I'm gonna go with Blockade from. No, I know, but I'm sticking with it that Grayson has a similar ability, and because he's so lower level compared to Keon, obviously he wouldn't really be able to stand up much to that. Literally, I just finished describing that as you type that message in Lego. Because Keon is like, what, 5 point... Wait, is Keon 5.6 or 5.4? 5.2 only. Wow, Keon, your ass, bro. But yeah, I think just because the pure level gap, that's why. Okay, level 8. Level 8. We're gonna go back again. We're gonna go back. To right here. So the healer definitely had an Agwin uniform on. And no, I don't think she is. I don't think the way she carries herself reads high tier, but I don't necessarily think. I don't think she's a high tier. Well, again, if Orin's her dad, she could be. Lego or solo. I need another episode. The episode where Sarah, Ison, and Arlo are talking about Terrence. So, look at that. Goats. Absolute goats. $175 and $180. We're going to check here first. Okay. So, Okay, so not here. 189. Okay, so it's not here. Is there another episode where they talk about Terrence? Because according to someone from the Reddit, there's an episode where they specifically say they imply that you have to be a high ranker in order to use your ability on someone else. Unless I didn't read this carefully enough. Welcome, extended. Welcome. They said elite. Where extended? Where? Hmm. So, but Arlen. Bro, extended. You can't just say shit like that, bro. Okay. Well, fine. Uh, let's check Rowden. Let's check Rowden. Oh, wait. Maybe here? not here. Here's an Ison episode. But not the episode we were looking for. We were just on that episode. They did unless I like didn't skim it enough. There really wasn't anything like that. So, right here. It's literally right here. I say hidden for so long, so he isn't stupid either. Illegible. Hmm. And then John shows up. So yeah, before then it's Zeke. Solo said 175 too, so I'm going to check that one more time. Actually, let's check these guys right here. Oh, okay. Right here. I think we found it, guys. I think we found it. What would you expect? Stay invisible for several minutes? I give him 15 minutes max. Lego, you led me astray. Or no, Solo, you led me astray. It's okay though, Solo, don't worry. Here at Wilston. Okay, so yeah. So like I was saying. So according to this, you have to be an elite tier in order to heal someone else. Now, I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's true. I can't confirm nor deny if that's 100% completely true. But according to that, word of Uru, or at least speculation of students in the story, you have to be an elite tier in order to extend the effects of your ability to other people, which would imply that you need to be an elite tier in order to heal someone else, in order to be the healer of, in order to be a healer on the Royals. So I'm gonna just guess level 8. Level 8 is gonna be, what's his name? His name's Weston. I don't think we have a Weston yet. Maybe that's possible, Lego. I'm just guessing. I'm just guesstimating here. So Grayson is a 3.7, and by all of this, it implies that there are no more equal levels among the Agwin Royals. There are no more equal levels. So, for Weston, he got healing field. He can literally make like a small little field that you heal in. And his level 3.6. Just because I want him to be stronger than her. Okay. Now, as I've been saying, well, here's the thing. To be the top 10, you don't have to be an elite tier to be in the top 10. You just have to be in the top 10 strongest of your school. So, with Agwin is a very, aside from Brovin and Rain, Agwin is very close in their levels. Like, they're very close, especially when you consider characters like compared to Welston, there's a very big gap between Cecile and Zeke. There's a 0.11 gap between the Queen and the King. But with Agwin, that's not the case. There's only a 0.3 level difference between Rain and Brovin. And then obviously from Go down, everyone is fairly equal to the last person they're behind. But Zeke falls down quickly from Cecile. And because of that, though Welston's levels are a bit equal too, there is some disparity there. Because Zeke is so low behind Cecile, the disparity between Agwin and Welston is starting to show up a lot. For example, Grayson is the 7th strongest person at Welston, yet he is comparable to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's comparable to ranks 4 and 5 at Welston, and he's stronger than Welston's 6th strongest person. So because of that, obviously, Weston, who we're gonna call is the healer, we're gonna say is the healer, he is a 3.6, which would mean he's stronger than Elaine. Now, number 9. Now, okay, I know what you're thinking. Jay, you're just stacking up Agwin's cast. Yeah, so what of it? They're gonna be important, so they have to be able to do something. They're gonna be important, so they probably have to be able to do something. So, Agwin, they got Rain, their queen, their powerhouse. They got Brovin, their speed, go with some strength. They got a pretty good saboteur ability with someone who can use ice in Denise. They got another strong guy and another fast girl. They have some pretty good support with Grayson with blockade, mental support, as well as Weston with the healing field. So what's missing from Agwin's roster now? What's missing here? Who are the last two for Agwin? Well, they actually do need some projectiles. They do need some projectiles on the field, actually. So here's what Agwin's got. Number 9, Bullet. 3.5. Literally can just finger guns. Pew pew. They literally just like shoot aura bullets. That's what they got. Number 10. Douglas. Number 9 is Douglas. If you get that reference, congratulations. And number 10, Agwin really needs some projectiles. Number 10, who is the last one at Agwin? Who's the last person at Agwin? You know what? I'm gonna cook. We know that at least 2 students at Agwin use weapons. As vigilantes. Number 10 at Agwin fights with a pipe. He fights with the pipe. They fight with the pipe. Their name. You know what? The last person at Agwin. Her name is Tara. And she actually charges. She charges her pipe with her aura. And fights with that. Kind of like Gambit. So Is that an ability already? I don't think it is. Nope. Tara, kinetic shift. She can store energy. Or like her aura or whatever inside. Like she can store it for like attacks, but she mainly uses a pipe. She is a 3.3. She's a 3.3. And then obviously at the top of it all, Rain, 5.1 Arachnid. Get out of here. Lauren. Agwin, top 10. This is the Agwin top 10, guys. This is the Agwin top 10. So, at the very top, this is what I've cooked up. This is what I've cooked up for Agwin's top 10 for the story, but also Because if you were here last week, remember when I was talking about the cards for Rowden and Agwyn in Turf War? This is also why I wanted to get this out there. I think since we're going the Arachnid route, I think Rain has like Spider-Man grippies. I think Rain has Spider-Man grippies. I think she can like stick to walls and stuff. Like she doesn't even have to think about it. That's what I think. Anyway. Because like just imagine that. Like Rain would be so perfect for like actual stealth, because she can literally just like chill on a wall. Like she can just literally chill on a wall above people, listening in on them like they don't even realize it. But here's the Agwyn top 10. At the top, we got Rain. We got Rain herself, the Arachnid Queen, 5.1. Barovin, Flight, 4.8. Go, Super Strength, 5.2. Denise, who I'm calling her, that's what I'm calling her. We have Denise, which is what I'm calling her, 4.0. She has an ice ability, maybe Ice Claw, maybe she can summon ice, but she's restraining people. Jace and Lena, rank 5 and 6, because they're both the same level. Jace with Iron Knuckle, he's got a pretty hefty punch, and Lena, she's pretty fast. Grayson is a mental ability for support. He's got a bit of strength too. He's got a bit of better stats too because he is an elite tier, but he's got the mental ability Blockade. Rank 8 is going to be their healer. Frostbite. You're right, Lego. You're right. Frostbite. Weston, the healer, he's rank 8, even though Uru didn't list him here. He's gonna be 3.6 healing field. Douglas, the projectile. Wait, no. Actually, no. Because Uru likes strong women. Douglas, you're trash, bro. Nah, Terra's an elite tier. You ain't shit, Douglas. I'm sorry, Solo. I'm sorry. I was looking at chat. I was looking at chat fast. My bad. But yeah, rank 9. Terra kinetic shift 3.5, and then Douglas ability bullet 3.3. That's the Agwyn top 10, guys. That's the Agwyn top 10 right there. So yeah, that's who we got. And obviously, like, yeah, they're smoking the Wellston top 10 because Wellston sucks now. I said I only put Flight and not Conjure Wings because we didn't really see anything from Barovin's side to suggest like actually manifesting something. It could absolutely still be like Wings. It's just there's not in these panels, there really isn't much to go on. Like there's also like absolutely no evidence that like Denise has an ice-based ability. There's no evidence there. So yeah, and that's why, and like even the fact that like Barovin can fly is a bit of a stretch. But I'm just assuming that based off the fact that Cecile restrained him specifically. I know you want wings. I know you want wings, Lego. I know. But yeah. Guys. 3.1. Yeah, Melody? Yeah, I remember Melody. But like, I feel like, well, I feel like I can absolutely be wrong. But I would really hope that Uru would just show us. Oh, wait. This guy right here. This is Douglas. This is Douglas, by the way. That's Douglas. Yeah. Melody, I remember her. She's trash. I remember her. But I feel like, ooh, Broven could be Gravity. That would still allow him to fly, actually. He'd still be able to fly and everything. That's a good one. That's a good guess too, Lego. But yeah, I would hope that if Melody was in Agwin's top 10, I would sincerely hope that like Uru would just list her here. And again, the fact that she's not listed here leans credit to the fact that they are, I would say leans credit to the fact that they're not, that the remaining top 10 are above her. But yeah. But okay. Even if Melody is in Wellston's top 10, still lends to the fact that actually no. Actually, if she was here, that would account for the drop. That would account for the drop that Wellston has with their top 10 goes down. So, if she was rank 8, Tanner is rank 9, so she'd be close to him. Or if she was the last, she would still be stronger than Sherry. But no, I'm sticking with this. This is my official prediction for Agwin's top 10. Rain, Broven with Flight, or Gravity as guessed by Lego. Lego's getting credit for that one. Lego's getting credit for that one solo. So, Broven, Flight, Go, Super Strength. Denise, Frostbite. Jace, Iron Knuckle. Lena, Fleet Step, Grayson, Blockade. Weston, Healing Field. Terra, Kinetic Shift. And Douglas, Ability Bullet. That's my predictions for Agwin's top 10. So yeah, that's the top 10. That's what we cooked up for the top 10, guys. So, I love how extended just bounced. So, that is that taken care of. Now, shall we move on to our reread? Before we do, actually, I'm going to go to the bathroom, so one moment. Once again, guys, as always, 30 seconds, start spamming to remind Okay, I remember to unmute. Don't worry. All right, we're back. Okay. Yeah. I still need to I do still need to make the community OC for you. Oh wait, no, thank God. Thank God, actually. Thank God. I still owe you guys the community OC, actually. I still owe you guys the community OC. I still have them pulled up too. All right. So, here we go. Back with the reread. So, Wellston Hospital, room 231. And Jackson literally just on his phone. Spectre leader captured by Bureau's brightest. Last evening, in the hills of Bluemont, the Bureau's dedicated Spectre team, led by Agent Cassandra, successfully subdued a high-ranking Spectre leader. And then, the operation was carried out with the assistance of local law enforcement and Chief Marcus, whose support proved instrumental in bringing the situation under control. However, the incident resulted in multiple casualties, further highlighting the threat posed by the Spectre terrorist organization. Authorities continue to assess the aftermath of the operation while reaffirming their commitment to protecting the public from and preventing future attacks. They really didn't waste any time putting this out, huh? And once again, I like that Jackson thinks that, because that's hesitance right there. That's like, wow, like they really wanted to get this out there. Unordinary, episode 394. Jax, you're awake. You really gave us a scare. Didn't expect Orin to nick me the last second. Thanks for saving me, Amelia. Bro, let him eat his bug. He just want a little snack? Little snackums? I'm used to it. Here, why does she say she's used to it? Has Amelia done this before? Okay, chat. Question of the day. Question of the day. Are Jackson and Amelia dating? That's question of the day. Are they dating? Is Arlo okay? I heard he got hit pretty bad. He was discharged this morning and rushed straight to work. Why? That's odd, actually. We don't know. We don't know how long Jackson's actually been in the hospital. We just know that the report, that the news report was published the night after this all happened. But we really don't know how long they've been back in town. Once again, Uru, timelines would be helpful. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if he's still there now. Sheesh, that boy needs to take it easy. And Cass, once again, just in the back, just like, hasn't even graduated and already a workaholic. Cass, do you know what's going on with him? You didn't seem very surprised with how things played out on that hill. You even knew how to talk to those two Spectre kids. It's like you're familiar with them. What are you keeping from us, Cass? It's true. I've been withholding information. That's because I didn't know who I could rely on at the time. But that changed after Orin. Now I trust both of you with my life. Listen closely and don't freak out. Still said it in a hospital. Not a good idea. Doom. gloom and doom. What's also interesting is that after she told them, Cass walked away from them. So, they're all just kind of like, the Bureau created Ember, huh? In hindsight, I should have seen that coming. Do you know who's involved? So far, Val, Byron, and Farah. Damn, they're all pretty high up. Arlo and his vigilante friends were the ones who figured this out. But after the Wellston raid, his memory was completely wiped. Wiped? How come? It was either that or incarceration. He took his friend's side and went against the Bureau. Val probably pulled some strings in order to save him. No wonder he's been acting weird lately. Poor kid. Can't help but feel sorry for him. Yeah. Still trying to figure out what he can and can't remember. One thing's for sure. We can't trust him. And there's a high chance Ember's trying to recruit him. Nice Solo. So many officers were sent to Wellston that day, and not a single report on what really happened. That's odd, isn't it? Maybe they were wiped too? All those memories erased just for Arlo? That's extreme, even if it's to preserve a talent like him. Or they're hiding something else. Those Wellston students aren't easy to deal with, especially with Arlo joining them. If Farah was present, do you think she may have used her Ember abilities in front of our officers? I'm going to chalk that up to just the artist being lazy. I'm honestly going to chalk that up to the artist just being lazy. Or probably the fact that, like, Jackson is stable now. Maybe that's what they're concealing. If we ask around discreetly, we might be able to find someone who remembers what really happened and start building a case. And they all nod. So the Bureau chatter, and Cass is back. Good afternoon, sir. Ah, good to see you, Cassandra. You as well. After months of strategic discussions and negotiation, the acquisition of BioNova has been officially approved. NextGen and BioNova have built a strong relationship spanning decades. And once again, a guy with a similar haircut and hair color to Jackson, with glasses, shaking a man with a kind of like a Tony Stark haircut, actually. Yeah, that was a bad idea from Jackson, I can't lie. But this guy's actually kind of like a light purple haired Tony Stark now that I'm looking at it. Like a lavender Tony Stark. And this milestone makes the formalization of their long-standing partnership. Through this agreement, NextGen and CEO Julian have successfully finalized the transaction. Well, we welcome BioNova to the next family and look forward to establishing a new chapter of collaboration, innovation, and shared success. You have reports for me, Agent Cassandra? Oh, yes. Here are the final write-ups for the team. Amelia, Jackson, Arlo, myself, as well as Chief Marcus of Bluemont. You've done exceptional work, Cassandra. The Bureau thanks you for your service. I only wish we could weed out the rest of Spectre sooner. It won't be long. Yeah, I think Julian is Sarah's dad. I think Julian is the lavender-haired man. It won't be long now. I've assigned Instructor Keon to Orin for questioning. He'll be able to extract the necessary information. Have you gotten in touch with Keon? Yes, sir, we've spoken. Excellent. Expect to be working with him more often from here on out. Oh? Can't wait. Cameron's house at night. John in bed. ... Cameron just reading a book. Look who finally decided to... Take me back, asshole! Ugh. What are you, an animal? What? Marisol, get him off me! John, please calm down. Couldn't you fucking tell I was in the middle of something? You brat, if I hadn't shown up when I did, you'd be locked up. Where's Sarah? So damn loud. You better not have just left her there. She can take care of herself. She's plenty capable. Unlike you. That doesn't mean you leave her, you shitty old man. John, please. Marisol, move. I'm gonna knock this fucker's teeth in. Let's see you try. Sir, you're not helping. Listen, he'll never admit it, but your uncle was worried sick for you. No, I wasn't. He spent the last week traveling. The last week. Okay. Remember what we were talking about last time, Lego? I'm going to take this as full-on confirmation that Cameron held on to Lightning for an entire week. For his sake, just try to get along. I don't need a fucking stranger looking out for me. Cocky brat. Haven't you realized you're too damn weak to survive on your own? Get out. With your mediocre technique, you can never... Mister, please stop talking. I said get out! And he just sits on his bed. The last thing I did was offer her up to Orin so we'd have a chance of defeating him because I wasn't capable of doing enough to do myself. Sarah, I'm sorry. Unordinary, episode 394. We didn't take that long. I am accepting that as full-on confirmation that he held on to it for a week. Oh, no. That's right. That's right, Lego. That's right. You're right. You're absolutely right. Okay, actually. No. Lego. I think we were absolutely right. Because they found out we can assume. What do I think of Cameron after this chapter? The training arc's definitely coming. And like Cameron really needs to listen to people when they tell him like he needs to be careful with how he approaches John. Because Cameron obviously does care about John. Like Marisol said, even though he's not willing to admit it, he cares about John. Like, he wants John to be alive. But, like, he is a guy who has took it upon himself to basically be... No. So, Solo, I'm saying you're right. But I think me and Lego, last week, because Lego said we spent so long trying to figure that out together. But I'm telling Lego, because of what you said, I think we had it right. But anyway, Cameron obviously cares about John, but he's brought it upon himself to be John's guardian because it's as far as we know, it's his last connection to his sister. And also, Cameron does feel some sort of responsibility, some sort of guilt for what happened to William. So he wants to do right by William and take care of John. But Cameron also has a point. Even though John is incredibly strong, he's not strong enough to do the things that he wants to do. He had to step in. He had to find John because John would have been locked up in this circumstance if he didn't show up. Now, what we said last week was that obviously the report about the break-in came out day after or right in the morning, like after it was like finalized at Love in Prison. But Cameron saw that news report. He heard the news report and everything, and so he was like, "Crap, I gotta go find that kid. Marisol, get me a track." But yeah,
So there was that. And like we said, they left a few days after. They left about, I want to say, 2 days. They left 2 days after the raid because John had to heal up. And then when Remy saw Cameron, she said, "Oh, they left a few days ago," which we took as 3 days ago because she didn't say a couple, and a few days can be typically about 3 or 4. It's a few is more than a couple, but we decided on 3, and then we said, after what I accounted for, after when he officially got lightning, which was from the next episode, it was the morning after because Jason and Lena were talking about what happened yesterday. So at that point, when Blyke and Ison were going after Charlie, I said it was 12 hours. Next day with Lena and Jace, I said, okay, that's 1 day. And then John said, we're going to be driving for days, which I said, okay, that's 3 days right there. Like, that's 3 days to get to Eastbrook Town. And then was finally going to Bluemont the next day, which was 5 days by my count. So in total, yeah, Cameron spent about 7 or 8 days looking for John. A week and 1 change and 1 penny. So yeah, that adds up. That does add up. So yeah, I think we had it right, guys. I think what we cooked up last week with our prediction for how long Cameron had lightning, yeah, about 4 or 5 days still. Anyway, yeah. So with that, guys, I think we can say that we're done with Unordinary for the night. Oh my god, 2.5 hours of just Unordinary. That is insane. 2 hours 40 minutes of just Unordinary. I mean, absolutely insane. I'm an absolute mad lad. But yeah. Oh, you know Julian got sauce. You know he's got sauce for days. Okay. Call me crazy. Call me crazy. This is about to be wild. This is about to be wild. I know. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry for what I'm about to say. What if Julian just has time manipulation? Like, what if he does just have time manipulation? Like, it would not surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. It wouldn't surprise me in the slightest if, like, true higher ups, elites of society, like Sarah's parents, like people in the bureau, like John's maternal family, what if they do get a little Game of Thrones Lego? What if they are like, we need to maintain our ability? We need to maintain our ability. Like, we need to make sure that our ability. Now, I'm not saying that, like, I think Sarah and Layla are. I'm not saying that I think that they are DNA wise at risk. But, like, what if they are like, oh, two families, time manipulation, blah blah blah, stuff like that. That's what I'm saying. But, like, what if they are like, we need to maintain our ability, make sure that it stays pure. I'm just saying, what if they are? because literally, I don't know. They live in a society called the hierarchy, and like, how do people in history, how do people who are at the top make sure that their family stays at the top? I'm just saying, Lego. I'm just saying. I hope that's not the case. I do hope that's not the case, but like, bro, no, that ability definitely exists. That ability definitely exists, Dawson. I don't know. I'm just saying. So I'm just saying. It's just a thought. It's just a thought. Anyway, question of the day: are Jackson and Amelia dating? Because they should be. I love the two of them. They're so cool together. We don't need to talk about what the Targaryen shtick is, Lego. We really don't. We really don't. We don't need to talk about that shit. Let's move on to Jungle Juice, shall we? We got like 5 episodes left. So, yeah. Last week, more random bullshit. Meiwa, she gone. Huijin did her thing. Gave her the horse head worm. Yeah, so she fought Meihua. And Meihua's probably dead now, but probably not. I don't know. Anyway, then Su-chan was fighting Eden. Later, Solo. And he was getting his shit rocked until Mihui took over Eden. So, yeah. I know I said that I was going to finish Jungle Juice, but you guys do know how I feel like about Jungle Juice at this point. Anyway, Mihui attacked Breeder. What? How could this be? Mihui Kim clearly died. Adam should be in full control of that body. So why are you attacking me? Eden! Alright. This has to be a minor error. After all, it's a fusion between two human beings instead of an insect. Perhaps you're dealing with an identity crisis as a result. In which case, I'll put you in your place first. Later, Lego. Bird Eater. What? And then the webbing. Incredible. You almost killed me. To be fair, I spent decades perfecting this masterpiece. Of course, you're an exceptional creature. But snap out of it and tell me, Eden, who are you? Remember the purpose of your existence. ... At the top of the food chain. New leader of this world. And we can still be friends. Su-chan's friend. You know what? I won't lie. I do like that Breeder still in the effort to erase human emotion, Breeder has still forgotten to account for human emotion. No. You're not the new mankind I've been hoping for. I did not create you to hear such soft remarks only inferior humans would make. Do you understand? You still have no idea. Your research has failed.
A whole new world ruled by the new kind? That was an absurd dream to begin with. Humans never needed further evolution, because we possess the willpower to overcome anything, overcome any challenge, and the charm to influence those around us. All those are what make us strong. That creature is not broken. Mihui Kim's human feelings, which had been revived by Su-Chen, were strong enough to overpower the beast's instincts. You've always considered human emotions useless. What did I just say? But those are precisely what put a stop to your plan. My webs. Where could I have gone wrong? They just told you, dude. Mihui Kim's feelings were so puny and little that I didn't see the need to take them into account. You were my glorious goal, so why? Or the origin of species. Hourglass spider. The origin of species. Net casting spider. Fine. If you won't listen to me, I have no other choice. I don't need you anymore. You're right, Professor Ma. My research failed this time. However, not everything is over. The effect of feeding changes depending on what I consume. And the new mankind was created with cannibalistic behavior in mind. Behold. What's wrong? Did you honestly believe I wouldn't consume other insect humans? Not that I have a craving or anything, but the ancient spider DNA within me likes meat. Besides... Ah! Yikes. What the hell is that thing? The Book of Peter, chapter 4, verse 17 says, For it is time for judgment to begin with God's household, within God's household. And if that begins with us, what will the outcome be? For those who do not obey the gospel of God, so then those who suffer according to God's will should commit themselves to their faithful Creator. Amen. I liked that outfit, but whatever. I've never researched my own body before. I'm 89% certain he specifically said that he's researched his own body before. Whatever. But perhaps I should have sooner. I didn't expect my body to be so perfect for whatever. Darwin's bark. Even though Eden has failed, I'll just use all of you as test subjects and start over. The buildings are falling. Yeah, help. With the dominant power, anything is possible. But first things first, Su Chan Zhang, your mysterious power is an uncertainty, so I shall kill you before you get in my way. Have you retrieved the item, Huijin? I have, Jae-song. I'll be there in a moment. Please hang in there for a bit. Not a problem. I may not have the firepower to defeat Breeder, but I am the pillar of Nest. My duty is to support the highway on which my comrades can travel. Listen up, Su-Chan. You may be the only person who can subdue Breeder at this point. However, that does not mean you'll engage him in combat alone. Everyone at Nest, including me, will support you with everything we have. We will be your shield, and you will be our sword. Are you ready? You bet. This is probably the true. Let's go. Final battle. All right. And that's Jungle Juice. All right, guys. So, almost 3 hours. Not bad. Not bad at all. Not bad at all, bro. But that's Jungle Juice, my guys. Man,
Good stream today, guys. Thank you, everyone, for stopping by.
And just remember, if you want the video of who would I date in Unordinary, sub goal is 2,000 or 20 channel memberships. So, with all that being said, guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, or manipulate that like button. And yeah, as always, everyone, see you, Space Cowboy.